Sean Plunket is trash. At this point, what purpose does he have beyond being a mouthpiece for Israeli state interests? If you want to know what the Israeli state wants you to hear, just go listen to Sean Plunket. He recently visited Israel. He aggressively defends Israel. He likes Israel a hell of a lot more than he likes New Zealand. He has spent far more time furthering Israel's interests than he has furthering New Zealand's interests. Why serve your own country when you could serve a foreign ethno-state on the other side of the world? And what is his justification for this? Screeching about October 7, because October 7 is apparently a magic justification for anything. Israel murders tens of thousands of women and children. What about October 7? Israel openly demands ethnic cleansing and tries to displace Palestinian civilians with horrifying violence. What about October 7? Israeli soldiers rape and brutalize Palestinian prisoners. What about October 7? Israel attempts to provoke a massive war with Iran. What about October 7? Israel seizes Syrian territory and wipes out the entire Syrian military without provocation. But what about October 7? Israel slaughters humanitarian workers. Well, have you heard of October 7? Israel's leader is a criminal who is shamelessly attempting to prolong these wars to save his own skin. But what about October 7? Did you know Hamas is bad? I didn't know one act of evil excused 100. What world are we living on? Is Sean Plunket stupid, or is he just evil? Most likely both. All they can do is rattle on and on about October 7. As though it is the one atrocity that matters. Forget about Israel's decades of ethnic cleansing, constant belligerence, murderous brutality, and open demand for an ethno-state. Hamas is despicable. Most of Israel's critics can recognize that reality. But we have an overwhelming amount of evidence that the Israeli regime is also evil. Sean Plunket has spent a lot of time criticizing Green MP Benjamin Doyle. He has claimed that Doyle's conduct is a uniquely outrageous scandal. And I have criticized Doyle too, but Plunket has no right to treat Doyle's conduct as a moral outrage. Sean Plunket has aggressively defended Israel. Israel has murdered over 10,000 Palestinian children. And Sean Plunket applauds them, and even went there on a propagandistic holiday. And then he pretends to care about the safety of Benjamin Doyle's child? What? Make it make sense. Of course it makes perfect sense when you realise that Sean Plunket is a mindless hack with no values whatsoever. Israel has killed over 10,000 children in the name of defeating Hamas. Yet Hamas remains very much undefeated, and most Zionists have accepted Hamas cannot be eliminated. Furthermore, Israel's carnage is a massive asset for Hamas recruitment. So tens of thousands of children were murdered for nothing. And Plunket defends this. The other day he was complaining that someone confronted him in public. If you are going to defend the mass slaughter of little kids, you should expect to be confronted in public. Does he think New Zealand is totally amoral? Does he think we will put up with this nonsense? Of course not. People will insult you on the street if you behave in this way. Most people are not like Sean Plunket. He is the exception. He is the cancer cell. Sean Plunket is your enemy. He is a loyal supporter of a belligerent power that is attempting to destabilize an economically sensitive region. Israel wants all-out war with Iran. That would be terrible for the global economy. But usually Israel gets what they want. They wanted Saddam Hussein gone, they wanted Nasrallah gone, they wanted Assad gone, and time again, they got what they wanted. Sean Plunket calls himself a journalist. He is a partisan hack and a propagandist. He looks down on the mainstream media while providing the most partisan commentary imaginable. It is just comical. And then he pretends to be a good journalist in contrast with the biased people from the media. I mean, seriously? He goes on and on about woke this and woke that. Why speak about workers' rights or economic issues when you can defend Israel and attack the woke? It is embarrassing. It is not journalism. It is lazy partisan propaganda, copy and pasted from idiots in the USA. Of course, Sean Plunkett's platform is funded by big money, and he serves big money. He creates all kinds of mindless culture wars in an attempt at deceiving working people into supporting parties that despise them. That is his purpose. That is what he exists to do. To deceive you into voting against your interests. And he has considerable influence. Major politicians regularly appear on his show. He has thousands and thousands of regular viewers. He has millions of views. And of course he does. When you are a partisan hack in a right-wing media space, it is very easy to get views. You mislead people into joining your team, and then you tell them what they want to hear over and over again. I really don't know how people like this can live with themselves. I really don't. How can you be that amoral? I wouldn't be able to handle it. Without my values, I would have nothing. Without my morality, I would not be able to do this. I would struggle to even get out of bed in the morning. I honestly wonder how these amoral partisan idiots do it. How do you cope with knowing that you are an amoral hack who stands for nothing? Or do you convince yourself that you are such a good person? Or do you just not care? It is deeply disturbing. These immoral political commentators are the enemy of this country. You cannot defend Israel without waging war on morality and rationality. And without morality and rationality, our nation is doomed. These commentators are the enemy. I am going to begin giving them the harsh criticism that they deserve.